Hi guys, I am live. I'm so excited because I believe I'm on time, and that is something to be excited about. So delighted to be with you. Now, obviously, one should never be fixing things and arranging one's hair at the beginning of a video. I just never seem to get enough time to do all that stuff ahead of time, right? But hey, who cares? We're here. I'm coming to you live from the beautiful Somerset in England countryside, where we have a beautiful day out there. I'm going to get out there straight after this and start getting some of my steps in. So I have become obsessed with steps. I think that you should too. I'm not somebody to use the should word lightly, but having discovered a pedometer and charting my steps, I'm now obsessed. Sorry, you have to see all my living room. I'm waiting for a sofa to come in 2 weeks' time in that empty space over there. So enough chitter chatter. So whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching it afterwards matters not. But hey ho, it's always so lovely to connect with you live. And I am going to be here every Saturday live at 10 a.m. UK time. So let's take a beautiful breath in wherever you are and out. Oh boy, isn't that nice? Why don't we just do another one? What the heck, eh? It's free. Take another beautiful breath in and out. And letting go. Letting go of anything that you don't need right now. Letting go of the day so far, the morning, whatever time, wherever it is with you, letting go of all of that, letting go. Letting go of anything that doesn't serve you, strengthen or support you going forward. And that starts with an intention, right? That starts with you setting your intention. Nothing more than that. Just being willing to let go with your breath, with your intention, anything that doesn't serve, strengthen, or support you going forward. Good. That is super relevant to our theme today. And our theme today is never give up. Never give up. Live with possibility. Live with that bigger vision for your future. So I wanted to share with you a story, a brief story of someone that I know who in her 60s completely reinvented her life. She moved country. She started to make more money than she ever had in her life, and she felt fulfilled at a deeper level than she probably ever had in her life. She really discovered her passion, her calling, work that she had not done before that she felt so fulfilled doing. And I want to share that story with you because you may have decided that it's too late for you to create a significant change in your life going forward. Or you may think you've left it too late to change direction and create something better and bigger for yourself going forward. Believe me, I have heard people who are 30 say, I've left it too late. It's too late for me. Seriously. So I've heard people at 25 say that as well, actually. So look, this isn't necessarily an age thing, but I just want to remind you that the most successful, the biggest mind, body, spirit book publishing company in the world is Hay House. And it was started by the wonderful Louise Hay. We love Louise Hay. Thank you, Louise Hay, for all you've done. 62. She started Hay House, 62. The most powerful fashion figure in the world. She could close a brand. She could launch a brand. Is Anna Wintour. She used to be well, she's British, but she used to be the editor of American Vogue for many years. And now she's above and beyond all of that. She's 71 going on 72, right? And she's dating a really hot actor, British actor, Bill Nighy, who's, not in his teens, but he's pretty damn cool. Oprah, 67. I'm just saying that you want to remind yourself that there are very powerful people in the world who are not in their teens or their 20s or their 30s or their 40s or their 50s, right? Just saying. So this woman was in her 60s. I don't even know what the exact age was because she was someone who didn't reveal her age to other people. Very smart thing to do, by the way. Very smart thing to do. So she just intuitively knew that, our culture, other people, had a view on what it is to be a certain age, and that's a very curtailing, confining view by and large. I happen to believe that it affects your physiology as well, the age that you take on, that the age that you adopt for yourself. So Christiane Northrup, the doctor, is a big believer in that, but I digress. Anyways, don't let your age define your future. Don't let your age define your sense of what's possible for yourself. Don't do that. So, my invitation is to take on an age. Seriously, take on an age, and don't share it with anybody else, by the way, that you feel signals aliveness and energy and possibility for you, right? Take it on, right? Whatever that age is, take it on. Believe me, it will make a difference to how you feel and, frankly, how you look, right? So this woman in her 60s left Northern Ireland. She left behind. She'd only ever lived in Northern Ireland, a small place, all her life. And she came to London, big city, right? She only knew one person in London. That person helped her get a flat. And she got some part-time work. And she started to train in something that she'd always had a fascination with: reflexology. That person, her name is Ruby, had left school at 14. She had never taken an exam before in her life. So she took the course in reflexology, which she adored. And here's the interesting thing. When she started to take the course and work on the feet, reflexology, she recalled that she used to do that to her grandparents when she was like 10 and 11, whatever, right? They lived in not the next house to her, one house down. And for some reason, on a Friday evening, she would go and she would give them this lovely treat, her grandparents, and she would wash their feet in a basin while they would just sit and relax, and she would massage their feet. Can you believe that? It was like a flashback she had when she went on the course. So she adored the course. Then it got to a stumbling point where it came to the written exam to get qualified. She'd never done a written exam in her life. And she said, well, I'm stumped. But the organizers of the course were so great. And they found a way to do a spoken test where basically they asked her the questions. Of course, she had the answers and she passed. She set up in business. She got a little bit of publicity. And that friend she had made calls to swanky hotels in London. And before we know it, this is in the late 80s. Is it in the late 80s? Let me just think about that. No, it's in the 90s in London, okay? All of a sudden, she has clients in these swanky hotels in central London, Portman Square, all of that stuff. And she is getting paid much money. It's like her handbag is overflowing with this cash. She's never made money like this in her life. So that woman, you might have guessed it by now, was my mum, my darling mum, Ruby Harrold. And I'm sharing the story of my mum because I wanted to inspire you. And that is what she would want me to do. To use her example to inspire you to never give up. because in her 60s, she found this new profession which she adored. Which made her more money than she had ever made, It exposed her to people that she had types of people, a range of people that she had never met in her life before, because she'd always lived in a small place in Northern Ireland, right? Doesn't matter where you've come from. It's where you're going that matters, right? So I want to share with you 5 steps that are steps that, if you like, my mum would have taken, but they're steps that you can take. The first one is paradigm. What do I mean by paradigm? I mean, we are all living a life from our particular paradigm. Paradigm is the way that you see the world. It's the way that you see life, okay? It's the particular lens. Now, it's wise to assume that you have blinkers on, right? That through which you see the world. So I invite you to know that and begin to notice what you have decided is possible in life for you, right? Possible, full stop. I invite you to notice that. Whether it's to do with relationships, the type of relationship you think is possible for you, whether it's to do with the amount of income, money, that you think that you could make, whether it's to do with where you could live, right? The type of life that you want going forward. To create something different requires you to consider a different range of possibilities, okay? And I put it to you that the life that you're living right now is a direct result of that paradigm, right? I don't believe it's possible for you to create something that's not in your range of possibilities. Your range of possibilities comes from your paradigm. What you have conceived is possible. Paradigm is number 1. Number 2 is past. I'm going with the P's today. Past. Be careful that you're not letting your past define your possibilities, your future possibilities, right? A lot of people do that. They think about their future and then they go, it's like whiplash, right? They go right back. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Be careful of the interpretation that you're bringing to your past. Your past has no power over you other than the power that you give it. Your past has no power over you other than the power that you give it. So whatever's happened in the past, take the lesson, take the learning, and just know that whatever decisions you made then, you made them with knowledge that you had at the time, with the level of consciousness that you had at the time. You're smarter now, right? You've lived longer, right? If you need to give up blame, give it up, because that's just tying up your energy in knots, right? If you need to forgive yourself, then forgive yourself in the name of God. Really, let it go. Let it go, because it's tying you up in knots. I was raised a Catholic in Northern Ireland. One of the best things about that was that we got to go to confession. So this very time, many years ago, I would have been heading up North Street in Lurgan in Northern Ireland to a church called St. Peter's, right, at exactly this time. And I would have been going to confession. You go into the confessional box and you share with the priest what you feel uncomfortable about, the sins that you feel you have committed during that week. And he says, well, are you truly sorry for those sins? And you get to say, yes, I am. And he then absolves you of those sins because you're truly sorry, right? And he gives you penance, another P. Penance could be a couple of Hail Marys, could be some advice on what to do differently. But either way, you get my point. I came out of that confessional box, oh my Lord, and I felt like I had a fresh start for the week ahead, for the future, right? And I would skip down that street home feeling like, oh, as light as a daisy. It's the same for you and me now. We might not go to a confessional box in St. Peter's or anywhere else, but you get to have that conversation with whatever higher power you see for you, or with yourself. You get to have that conversation with yourself. You get to absolve yourself. You get to get the lessons and you get to move on, right? Okay, paradigm, past, brackets, penance. And the third one is people. Now, if you have had a particular perspective on life, it's very likely that you will have people around you who think the same way. And that's okay. But you might want to consider the impact of the people that you have around you on this broader perspective that you want to bring to life. So just be aware of the impact that other people can have on the way that you think. So if you want to start contemplating bigger possibilities for you in your life and your future going forward, you may want to consider who you share that with, right? Because some people will tell you it's not possible, or you're being unrealistic, or whatever, all sorts of things. So just be really careful who you share your big dreams with. You know that phrase from the Bible? Don't cast your pearls to swine. Okay, sounds a bit traumatic, but hey ho, be careful. So, number 4 is possibilities. You get to be someone who lives in possibilities. You get to be someone who allows for possibilities. The possibility of more, of something different than you have now. Possibilities, right? What could be possible? What if it was possible? And start to think about the impact of these possibilities, these options that you think about. Start to think about the feeling that they bring you, your energy, your sense of aliveness, your spirit, the joy that those ideas give you, right? Big sign, big indication. So number 5, I think I've done 4. Number 5, partner. What do I mean by partner? I mean, you got to do the work, but you don't have to do it alone. I'm going to say that again. You got to do the work, but you don't have to do it alone. It's very hard to do life alone. And why should you? There's no need. It's very hard to create big change alone, on your own. And why should you? So, 2 ways to bring more power, more support into you and into your life. Number 1, make sure that you have the right people around you. Might only be one person. Truthfully, in my mum's case, it was me. I lived in London. I was pulling her forward. I was supporting her practically, and I was supporting her psychologically on believing that it was possible to create something bigger, something different. So I helped pave the way for that change Now, the real hard work absolutely came from her. Absolutely came from her. But she wasn't doing it alone. It's the same for you. So you get to find someone who supports that vision and the practical expression of that vision as well. Now, what really works, what I've seen that really works, is to put yourself into a small mastermind. What is a mastermind? A mastermind is where you are you're part of a small group of like-minded people. That's very important. Who are dynamic, who are supportive, who are solution-orientated people. Now, if you don't know people like that, seriously, you don't know where you'd find people like that for sure, reach out to me, because I can absolutely help you with that, because I have a whole series of masterminds that I have set up and that I organize and run. So the important thing are the people that you have around you to support you to take those steps. You have to do the work yourself, but you don't have to do it alone. The second part of partner is partner with a higher power. Partner with a higher power. Partner with that energy, that force that is above and beyond us. You may call it God, the divine source, spirit, higher consciousness, the universe, whatever you call it. You don't need to do this on your own, on your human own self. Ask for guidance. Seriously, ask for guidance. Ask for help. Write it down. Listen. Pay attention. Ask for that extra energy, that extra confidence, that extra conviction. So whatever it is that you feel that you need, ask for it. You're going to get it, right? Without a shadow of doubt. Any questions about this, my darlings? Put your comments, put any questions in the thread here, and I will absolutely see them afterwards. And this morning after meditation, I was reading this little book that I've been reading, and I love it. I love this little book, and I want to read a little bit from you because it's so relevant to what we're talking about today. So the book is called Each Day a Renewed Beginning. Isn't that just so great for our theme? That's it there. Hope you can read that. Each Day a Renewed Beginning. It's by a wonderful woman called Karen Casey. So every day she has these like motivational messages. So the one for today, which is the 25th of September, 2021, it still is. Okay, so how great is this? How fitting is this? The message for today is, it's all in the attitude. It's all in the attitude. I'm just going to take a sip of water before I read this to you. I love this so much. It's all in the attitude. These 5 simple words carry truth as few others do. Our attitudes do indeed color everything we see and experience. Even an extremely dire situation can be handled with equanimity if our attitude is one of hope and trust. Of course, what must precede the good attitude is willingness to remember how very present God is in every experience. Because we forget about his presence, we too often become fearful, and that can lead to conflict where none was called for, initiated by an unhappy and generally scared ego. Fortunately, we can nurture a good attitude. Perhaps the easiest way to do that is to do a daily gratitude list. This is not a new suggestion. We have no doubt received this advice from a friend in the past. Perhaps one who has noticed how negatively we have responded to a circumstance in our life. The power to change how we see the world around us by making a gratitude list is awesome. It's as though we have flipped on a light switch in a very dark room. Reflecting on all we have to be grateful for is a sure way to heal a bad attitude. If in doubt, try it sometime soon. Doing a gratitude list can change our entire world view. It's a power that can't be overestimated. Today just may be the day for you to write one. Don't tarry. I love that, don't you? Don't tarry. Don't tarry. It sounds like it's a very old English word. But you see what she's saying about the world view. World view is what your paradigm is. It's what your paradigm is. It's the way that you view the world. What she's saying is attitude is everything. I totally agree. So, my darlings, I hope that's been useful for you today. I'm going to go out and get my steps into the beautiful Somerset countryside, and then I get off to have a gorgeous day. And I hope you are too. And I'm on I'm on Facebook on Monday at this very time, 10 o'clock UK time. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. And if I don't see you, I'm sure I will see you before next Saturday. That feels a long time. But anyways, I'll be here live again next Saturday at this time. And by the way, tell me what your biggest challenge is in creating change, whether it's in your business and in your life. Put it in the thread. If I could wave a magic wand and help you, what would that be? If you could fix one area in your life and business, what would that be? What's the thing that stops you creating growth and change and prosperity and abundance in your life and business? All of that is just so great for me to hear, because then I can look at ways to support you that's really relevant to you. All right, my darlings, thank you so much for being here. It's been my absolute pleasure to be with you. Lots of love. Take care for now. Bye. Bye for now.